Does menopause cause dizziness and fainting? Yes, it does. Let me show you why and what you can do about it. Can menopause cause dizziness and fainting? Well, this is not a common symptom in menopause. Yes, menopause can contribute to both dizziness and fainting. If you've been watching my videos, you know that your hormones plummet in menopause. And it's this severe decline in estrogen and progesterone falling down from your high reproductive levels to next to nothing in menopause that profoundly affects all of your body, including your inner ear. Your inner ear affects your balance, your sense of equilibrium, and when it's off, you feel dizzy. Your inner ear is called the cochlea, and it looks just like a little nautilus shell or a snail shell. Your cochlea has fluid in it that has to stay at a certain level in order to have normal equilibrium, normal balance, and feeling stable. When inflammation occurs within the cochlea, or if the fluid levels are either too much or too little, you will feel dizzy, and you may even faint. Now, inflammation of the inner ear can be induced by low estrogen and low progesterone levels, which can be the reason for your menopausal dizziness and fainting. Estrogen keeps the lining of the cochlea healthy, which in turn produces healthy fluid levels to maintain your equilibrium. And progesterone helps to calm down the auditory nerve so that the message between your inner ear and your brain makes sense to what's actually happening to your body. For instance, when you're seasick or motion sick, your eyes are sending a different message than what your body is feeling, and that can cause you to feel dizzy. When your progesterone levels are really low, your nerve tends to misfire in the messaging between your inner ear and your brain, so it kind of feels like you're seasick, and especially when you change positions or turn your head really quickly. When you go from lying down to sitting up, or you go from squatting to or kneeling on the floor to getting all the way up and standing, you're going to feel dizziness. This disequilibrium that you experience is induced by the inflammation caused by low estrogen levels and low progesterone levels. So what can you do about it? Well, once again, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy can help you get those hormones in balance, both estrogen and progesterone. By using bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, it can reduce the inflammation in your inner ear and help to reduce the dizziness and definitely the fainting. The other factor is with fainting is that some women are prone to hypoglycemia or low blood sugar. And again, when your hormone levels are lower in menopause, it affects your insulin and glucose metabolism. Estrogen particularly helps to upregulate your insulin receptors so glucose can get into the cells. And progesterone helps regulate cortisol so that you're able to release stored sugar when you need it. So when you have low estrogen levels, you tend to have less insulin sensitivity. So your cells don't let the glucose in to make energy. And when you have low progesterone levels in menopause, you have less cortisol production. So you don't easily release stored sugar. Then you're prone to more hypoglycemic spells, and that can contribute to dizziness and fainting. Hormones are kind of complicated because what they do in your body affects everything, and living without them can be a pain. So if you'd like to get your hormones back into balance naturally, you need to truly consider balancing your hypothalamus. We talk a lot about how to balance your hypothalamus and your hormones naturally in our hormone reboot training, because that is really the key to getting your whole body back into balance and reducing your menopausal symptoms. But you have to be patient, because it takes a good 3 months for your hypothalamus to really get back in balance if you're having a normal, uncomplicated menopause, and longer if you have complications like diabetes or thyroid disease, neurological conditions, chronic fatigue syndrome, any condition that's been going on for a long period of time. You can pretty much bank on 1 month of nutraceutical support for every year that you've been out of balance. For instance, if you've been out of balance for 7 years, then you're looking at least 7 months before you really feel a return to wellness. Now let's keep the conversation going in our free hormone support group. You can access it by signing up for the hormone reboot training, and I'll put the link down below. For more menopause health tips, check out my next video.